Moving to the next page. I know Oliver's mother. She is a terror. That means she is very terrible. All the time in a fighting mood. Bill sighed, taken a deep sigh. I took a trunk out there for her once. I was to deliver something to her one day and she almost took my skin off. Took my skin off? खाल खींच लेना. She is so furious in anger because I didn't treat it like a bag of eggs to be handled very carefully. She's about 9 feet tall. Can you imagine a lady of 9 feet and 4 feet thick? Just imagine, 4 feet thick and quick as a cat, still so clever, and she sure can talk. I'll bet Oliver heard this some days chasing him, and he is gone on there to hide behind his mother's skirt. Well, we'll try her. But you would better let me do it. I will do it for you. I'll go first inside because I told you she's a very furious lady boy. You may be great at literature and law. You may be intelligent in learning, but you haven't heard real training in swearing, in calling the names. That means bad words. Galiyan dena. You never have learned so much things there. We drove into a poor farmy yard. We were faced by an enormous, a huge in size and cheerful old woman. My guide, that driver, bravely went up to her and said, "Remember me? I am Bill Magnuson, a carter and a hack driver. I want to find your son Oliver. Where is Oliver? I don't know anything about Oliver and I don't want to," she shouted because she's always furious, angry in mood. "Now look here. We have had just about enough nonsense. This young man represents the court in the city. He was just introducing me to the mother of that man, and we have our legal right to search all properties of this Oliver Lutkins. We can search your home because we have to find out where Lutkin is." Bill made me sound very important. He just showed me in front of that lady as if I am really very important, and a woman was impressed. She retried. She was caught into the kitchen and we followed. We went there. She seized an iron from the old fashioned stove. She took out an iron rod and marched on us, shouting as if she was about to attack on us. "You search all you want to if you don't mind getting burnt first. You will be burnt first." It was a burning rod, a hot rod. She shouted and laughed at our frightened retreat. We were about to run away from there. So she was laughing. Said, "Okay, take this. Welcome from me first, and then go and search in my house. What do you want to? Let us get out of here. She'll murder us." Bill said me, "Let us go out. Get outside." He said, "Did you see her smile? She was laughing at us. She was making fun of us because she knew Lutkins is with the narrator." I agreed that it was pretty disrespectful treatment. It was not regarded as respectful the way she treated us. We have gone to meet her son only. We did, however, search the house since it was only 1 story high. It was a simple building, small house. Bill went round it, peering, just peeping inside it all from the windows. We examined the barn and the stable, the grass, the wheat room and the stable where the horses are kept. We were reasonably certain that Lutkins was not there because we couldn't find him anywhere. So we had to believe that Lutkin is not there. It was nearly time for me to catch the afternoon train. Bill drove me to the station. On the way to the city, I worried very little over my failure to find Lutkins. I was not worried that I was not able to find out the man or I got failed in finding that man, but I was worried about very little over the man. I was too busy thinking about Bill Mignans. Really, I consider returning to New Zealand to practice law. I want to live in that village only where people are so simple, so helpful, so loving and caring. If I had found Bill so deep and richly human, might I not grow to love Fitz and Gustav and 100 other slow spoken, simple, wise neighbors? Maybe they all are so interesting people. I can like all those. I picture an honest and happy life beyond this strict limit of universities and law firms, life of city. Was excited. I had found a treasure. I had discovered a new way of life. So, but if I did not think much about Lutkins, the office did. Office was concerned about Lutkins, not about me and my interest. I found them all upset. When I told I was not able to find Lutkins anywhere, they were all upset on my failure. Next morning, the case was coming up in the court, and we need that witness to solve the case, and they had to have Lutkins urgently. I was shameful, useless fool I was, that I was not able to find that man anywhere in that village, small town. So, morning, my promising legal career almost came to an end. I thought that my career is over now because I was not able to fulfill the requirement of my firm before it had begun. The chief almost murdered me. He was about to kill me. He hinted that I might do well at digging ditches. I am not able to this law firm. I must change my profession. I was ordered back to New Milan. I was sent back again to the same place, and with me went a man. But this time I was not alone. A man was sent with me who had worked with Lutkins, who knew Lutkins well. I was rather sorry because it would prevent my laughing all over again and Bill. So when the train arrived at the New Milan, the train reached there. Bill was out on the station as usual, the platform near his cart. Strangely enough, I was strange. That old tigress, that lady who was furious all the time, Lutkin's mother, was there talking and laughing with Bill. I was surprised, not quarreling at all. She was so friendly now. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion. I told he is Bill and said, "There is the fine fellow, a real man. I spent the day with him and he was helping me in finding out Lutkins." He helped you hunt over Oliver Lutkins. You can see the interrogation after the sentence, the simple sentence. He helped you? Because the man with me was really shocked, surprised. Yes, he helped me a lot. He must have. He is Lutkins himself. That's why he was making you fool. What really hurt me was that when I served the summons, but I gave that legal paper to Lutkin and his mother laughed at me as though I were a bright boy of 7. They were making fun of me. They were laughing at me. I was just as if I was just an innocent child of 7 or 8 years, you can say. With loving kindness, they begged me to go with them to the neighbor's house for a cup of coffee. I told them about you, and they are anxious to look at you, said Lutkins joyfully. They are about the only folk in the town that missed seeing you yesterday. I told those people only that shop where you can have a cup of coffee. They missed meeting you. Such a fool who was in search of the man with whom he was searching him. Because he was himself with Oliver Lutkins and he was in search of the man who was helping him in searching Lutkins. So he was just a fool, and those people were left only to see this real stupid fellow who was believing the man to be Bill. Actually, he was Oliver Lutkins. So that's all about the reading of the chapter. So we can say that appearances are always deceptive. What we see is not real at all.